I want to talk today a little bit about surrender and the uses of suffering. I once thought that was a joke, the uses of suffering, but really as I've gotten older, I really get that really the thing is that when you suffer, you invite yourself to look afresh, to try something new, to be different than you were, because whatever you were doing just ain't working anymore. And so you look for answers. And so lately I've been looking for answers, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that this suffering really can lead you into the direction of awakening to your true nature, and also inviting a deeper experience of being one with the presence of God. And let me just talk to you about how that works. So essentially, when you have lost everything, that's usually when you go, I surrender. We're not talking about surrendering to another person. We're talking about surrendering to the higher aspects of yourself. And this surrender is really a realignment of yourself with that which is. Now, at some point, we have developed this habit of thinking about ourselves as separate. We are separate individuals, and we have come by this quite naturally. But over time, you got more and more clear, and you got more and more clear about what reality was, and you stopped really being fuzzy about it. You got really clear that who you are sits inside this skin, and it's really inside this skin that you've got to take care of, and that becomes who you are. And all that begins to be formed around a single thought, which I'll call the I thought. That's I, me, this I thought. Not necessarily a bad thing, a thing, though, indeed. That you have the I thought before you have the next thought. We have all this this formation of this definition of who we are, and we are inside this definition of who we are, and that's the limit of who we are. And unfortunately, if you really want to grow spiritually, you're going to have to break out of that, because this is all that is. And at some point you realize that just ain't enough to just be inside this I thought. We must do more. Something must change. And so many people take up meditation. At that point, they take up meditation, and essentially what meditation does to some degree, it thins this I thought out a little bit. And at times, maybe you have a breakthrough and you have this sensation, oh my God. And you're not just this I, but there's a sense of oneness with everything, or a sense of peace and harmony. This transcendence happens. You might come to your bottom. You might come to your point of exasperation. You might just come to say, I don't like it the way it is. And that's where surrender comes in. And in surrender, you begin to take the I thought out of first position, and you say to that which has always been around and in and through you and as you, say, I surrender. I drop the I thought. I am not first position. I'll take second, third, fifth, or no position as you require. I surrender. And it is not that you are giving it up to something other than you. You're giving it up to something greater than the I, but it is not opposite of you. It is also you. But if you, much smarter than the paramecium, say, I surrender. I surrender. I'm going with it. I'm going with this consciousness, this awareness, this intelligence, the presence of God, the architect of the universe. I'm going with it. So the universe, which has somehow been able to align the stars and the planets, has been able to take inorganic matter and make living matter out of it. The thing that has been able to fire up a nuclear reactor that would last 10 billion years, it's been able to do all that, but you wouldn't trust it with your life, so to speak. Or would you? If your life is bad enough, yeah, you take the option. And so I'm saying at this point, if you're suffering a lot, well, surrender. It doesn't mean like all the circumstances of your life are going to change in that next moment, but there is something that will, according to my experience and some others, you will have a sense of change inside. There will be a beginning of a sense of peace or harmony, a sense of relaxation, a sense that, okay, there's more here than my philosophy can encompass. I'm going to open and see what happens. And when that happens and you get in the flow, then unusual things can happen. You thin out this I thought that just separates you from everything, and you have more permeability so that you can join with the ocean, and the ocean is joining with you. And this is kind of the goal of spirituality, to come to a place where your identity is changing, where it is changing from small to large, from limited to unlimited, from isolated and frightened to absolutely at peace, from out of harmony with all that is to in harmony with it. That is the practice. That's why we do spiritual practice. That's why we do meditation, why we do prayer. It's why we read books, come to church, talk to people, is we want an expanded sense of self that encompasses something other than my little I. It's not your normal motivational speech, is it? Which says, build yourself up and go out there and kick some butt because right? Well, we've heard enough of those. This is a different one. Let yourself be meek. Meek in the face of the divine. Meek in the face of the big questions of life. Maybe even the direction of your life. Be meek. And let the presence come in and lead. Let it be the lead. Let the ocean be the lead so that you can know, be, and experience things that your eye can't imagine. That is the call. Let us surrender to that which is greater than us, that is also us.